Oh my gosh, look at them pretty okra flowers right there. Hey there, this is a rooster holler. Hey, I'm gonna show you today how to prune this okra where it will produce fruit abundantly. You could take just 2 or 3 plants and be able to feed 2 people every week by pruning your okra in this fashion. Hey, stick around and thanks for watching. Now look at this okra plant. It's about 5 weeks old. It's got its first leaves down here, and then it grows another leaf and then a branch. And it continues to do this up. We don't want no branches. So all branches and leaves will come off. Now, eventually it's going to start to produce a flower like this that will okra. Once it starts okra, it's a different stage of pruning. But for right now, we want to take off all of these leaves and limbs. They are all to be removed like this. All leaves and limbs are to be removed until the okra. In the end, we'll have no leaves and no limbs, just as you see. Okay, these plants are 49 days old today. It's been 9 days since their 4 to 6 week pruning we just looked at. The okra now has entered its final stage of pruning because of the okra pods and the limbs coming out. So anything below that comes out, we will keep trimmed. All right, now that we've learned how to prune the okra plant, let's take a little time to try to get to know the okra plant a little more. Okay, look at this plant here. This is a perfect example to show you how far to prune back your okra. The rule of thumb is typically 3 grown leaves. So for example, when we cut this okra, nothing will be below it. These 3 will be the 3 grown leaves. Look at this plant here. It gives us an example of why we trim the limbs and leaves for fast fruit production. This plant's 49 days old, just like the rest of the plants, except I didn't prune it. And you see it's put all of its energy into leaves and limbs rather than producing any fruit. The other plants have been producing a fruit for at least a week. The okra plant enters its favorite growing conditions when the temperature at night is 65 degrees Fahrenheit and above. And the okra plant just don't matter how hot it gets. It does like full sun, and it will continue to grow until it freezes again. The okra plants are very disease resistant, and they like to grow 7 to 10 feet tall in their favorite conditions. We call the okra flower the Okra Rose because it's so beautiful. You know, the okra flower, it opens and closes the same day. It follows the sun like a sunflower. The flower begins to open when the sun hits it around 7 to 9 a.m. and then begins to close as the sun decreases for the day. That night, the okra flowers will fall off, and the next day, there will be an okra pod in its place. This is a simple, clean way to maintain okra throughout the growing season for fast fruit production. This pruning technique was handed down to us by an old farmer. Be it fact or fable, it's proved to work for us. Our crops have increased 100% by trimming okra this way. For this reason, we've continued to use this method year after year, and we'd like to share it with you. We hope this pruning method blesses your garden just as it's blessed ours. Thanks from Rooster Holler.